It's Dave here talking to Elias from Xelon Digital. Is that correct?
That's correct. Nice to meet you, Dave.
Nice to meet you, Elias. Have you always been involved with music?
I have in various ways. My dad was a musician growing up, and he and my mum would put on concerts in our little town hall, and I grew up going to folk festivals and blues festivals and the rest of it. But it was only the last few years that I've kind of joined the music business side. I played music myself as a teenager and a young adult, and yeah, during the COVID lockdowns, I obviously had a lot of time to reflect, and it kind of was one of those, why didn't I think of this earlier kind of moments when I was like, oh, I could actually, make a job out of this and do something that I'm really passionate about, which is helping artists get their music out there, get support. I just think there's many incredible, talented people in the world, and if I'm in a position to help them share that art, then that's what I'm in it for, I guess.
Okay, so give us a bit of a background into that promotional, you've moved into this promotional space, you're saying, this business
Mhm.
space. When did that start? When did you start deciding to do that? And why did you start?
So we, myself, Amy, and Gemma, the other people involved in Ascent, we were having a lot of conversations at the beginning of the year about the kind of gender disparity in our roster at Xelon and in the wider music industry in general. And we came up with the idea to run a competition for women and gender diverse artists to submit a track to Xelon. And they would get, like, the winner would get a prize package. We had some amazing people involved, like Beatrice from IQ Hands and KLP. Sarah Hamilton from Golden Hour was a huge help in this. And we got an insane amount of submissions, and we were really blown away, like, not only by the quantity, but by the quality of those submissions. And it was really, really hard to pick just one person to support. So we kind of wanted a way to offer that sort of support to more artists in a more ongoing way instead of just doing a one-off. And yeah, we kind of came up with the idea to do an imprint in Xelon, like an in-house label, which is what Ascent is. ROMÆO, our first signing, was one of the people that submitted a track to the competition. And we, yeah, decided to kind of pursue artists that had submitted a track, and then look to the wider music community as well. So electronic music in particular has quite a big gender gap within it. I think that's an issue throughout the industry still, unfortunately, but yeah, particularly in electronic music. And we, like, all three of us are super passionate about supporting any kind of underrepresented artist. And we wanted to, yeah, I think just do something about it instead of just complaining about it, try and make some positive change. And I know, like, there's so many amazing organizations and businesses and labels doing similar things. Like, it's not like we're the only people to be doing something like this, but I guess in my opinion, like, there can never be too much support for artists. I think there's room for everyone to be doing their bit to kind of try and make the industry a more equal place and a more supportive place and a more community-based place instead of everyone being out to win, trying to work together a little bit more
Well,
where we can. So
we live in a different world, in the TikTok world, everyone's just looking at the light that comes on in the fridge sort of thing. So when you're trying to get people to collaborate for different reasons, their attention span usually doesn't get them past the smile of the conversation. So they
it's
think it's
true.
when you're talking to them, but as soon as they put the phone down, there's a flash on the right and a flash on the left, and they lose where they were. So it takes a lot of persistence, I suppose.
I think so. Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, so that's where Xelon. That's not how Xelon. Where did Xelon come from? That's where Ascent came from. Where did Xelon come from?
Xelon has been around, I think, almost 20 years now, as an independent digital distributor. It historically has been very dance and electronic focused, and has been supporting, like, distributing some pretty big labels for quite a while now. We work very closely with Sweat It Out and Central Station. And yeah, Xelon has been a pretty big fixture of the Australian dance and electronic scene for quite a long time. In the last maybe 5 or 6 years, we've been a lot more publicly facing, taken on a lot more kind of independent artists, not just labels. And yeah, really in this process of, I guess, expanding and being a lot more front facing than we previously have. There's an incredible team of people that work there that are.
Who runs Xelon?
Ashley Woodford, he's the CEO and co-founder. He has been around since the beginning. He's awesome. He's like, you talk to anyone in the industry, they've always got good things to say about him. Yeah, he's really been so supportive during this whole project of ours. He loves that we're doing it, and yeah, he yeah, I don't know, he's been doing this incredibly successful thing for ages and managed to stay completely 100% independent, and it's going to stay that way, which I think is awesome. And he's really enthusiastic about kind of supporting us younger folks to pursue our goals, and yeah.
Good work. Okay, so Ascent's called a new label championing female and gender non-conforming artists. Are all your artists in this category?
Yes, they are. Yeah. So there's obviously so many men that make amazing music that deserves to be heard and supported and platformed. Like, don't get me wrong, but there's still such an underrepresentation for especially gender non-conforming and trans artists, and we just wanted to do something that would allow us to really platform and support those voices and give resources to them, and kind of I guess not like level the playing field, but just provide a space for women and GNC artists to have that support and backing from a label.
Why do you think Ascent will provide those necessary aspects in a changing AI environment? AI is changing the world, and you've got Donald Trump over there in America, reversing all trans and gay perspectives. If he sticks around and if he manages to get a foothold that someone else follows him, I mean, it's not going to be too long before the rest of the world does something to, conform to that sort of situation.
Yeah, look, we've got our work cut out for us. There's no doubt about that. I think that's why it's so necessary right now in a lot of ways. I mean, there's always been people in power that have tried to take away a group's rights in many different ways, many different groups all throughout history, and we keep bouncing back. Like, there was a lot of oppression of queer people in the past, and we're still here. We survived.
You're not gonna change sex back.
No.
So eventually something takes place, and eventually the breakthrough, even if it goes, takes time to get up there, it'll eventually get up there. So
exactly,
that's what you're doing anyway. You're trying to give a larger imprint to that sort of process. Okay, let's have a chat about, you had a couple there about ROMÆO and T. Kurahua. How many artists do you have in Ascent?
We've just got ROMÆO so far, but we're poised to announce some new signings very, very soon. So keep posted on that. Te Kurahua was the winner of the competition that we ran with their track Big Mana. And ROMÆO is our very first signing. We are initially operating on a release by release basis for our signings to give artists that flexibility. So ROMÆO's EP rollout is through us, and then we definitely have the option to continue releasing her music. And we just wanted to get the label out there in time for her EP launch, and then we'll hopefully be announcing some new signings really, really soon.
Okay, so the tours and events, you've got her EP launch coming up when?
19th of September. It is at Shot Kickers, I believe. I'll double check that. I don't want to get my facts wrong. Um, yeah, not far away. Oh, sorry, it's at the Cactus Room
Cactus
in Thornbury. Yes.
in
Yeah.
Thornbury. Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
That's on
Um,
the 19th of September.
that's correct. Yes.
Okay,
Yeah.
we'll put that in our diary. And
Please do.
anything else?
Um,
Any other events?
oh, sorry. No, not yet, but again, stay posted. I know ROMÆO is playing at Social Sanctuary at Northcote Social Club in a couple weeks, maybe next Monday.
Yeah.
And as for Ascent, we're hoping to have some kind of like launch event before the end of the year. So yeah, we'll definitely let you know when that's set and organized.
What are your long-term aspirations?
So we're really hoping to, yeah, make this like an actual real life community and have showcase events for our artists, have collaborations between our artists and remixers, you know, kind of utilize the resources that we have on the Xelon roster to get remixes from bigger artists, to have collaborations between those artists. We want to partner and work with different organizations in the space that are doing really cool things. We're planning to host some workshops next year for artists. Yeah, so we aren't just focusing on releasing music, although obviously that's the core of it and the biggest part. But we really, yeah, want to bring it out into the real world as well and have these workshops and events and concerts and
Support.
collaborations. Yeah, so first step, you know, obviously announcing more signings and kind of building the roster a little bit. And then next year, definitely planning to kind of bring those collaborations into real life more.
From what you've discovered so far, what advice would you give to artists? I suppose specifically your artists, because I suppose, if you've got a label that's, centering on what do we call them?
Women and gender diverse artists.
So when you say gender conforming, you're saying female as well. You're saying females are an under appreciated segment of the society. Maybe
I would, I think so. In the context of the electronic music industry, I would say so.
yeah,
Yeah.
I think every bit of publicity I put up, I reckon 80% of them are female. So I'm not sure that that's in standard music. So what would you suggest to people as a piece of advice that you've learned? You look like you're about 12 yourself, so I don't know. I don't know if you have.
Thank you.
I'm not going to ask you how old you are, but
So,
yeah,
28, so you know, not quite 12, but
no,
also
not
still
quite.
young.
Well, but anyway, you've learned something. What advice would you give to people that are sort of in this
Hmm.
area or this category?
Look, I mean, there's a lot, but I think probably number one would be to um, use the people that you have and the resources you have around you. There's many people with a lot of knowledge and experience, and if you can kind of approach, you know, those conversations with an open mind, and just say yes to everything, learn everything that you can. Like, I'm definitely of the opinion that no knowledge is wasted knowledge, even if you think it's not relevant, you know, 10 years down the line, it'll come back and be relevant somehow. So yeah, my life philosophy is essentially just learn everything that I possibly can. And I would definitely give that advice to everyone else as well, because
I would modify that myself.
yeah, what would you say?
I would modify that because basically one of the difficulties in my view with learning is in this AI world, everything changes so quickly. So learning stuff can be a bit redundant because it's getting turned over so quickly that knowing it. So basically, it's not about not knowing what you need to know at the time. It's just about who needs to know it. And so
That's true.
I would come back and I would be saying collaborate and find collaborators and mentors. Because if you collaborate or get mentors or join groups like yours or whatever, and the knowledge and you have trusted sources, well then the knowledge
Yeah,
the knowledge is being maintained by everyone, And so everyone knows something, and then you can use that source to get the information you need at the time. I think
That's spot on.
well, the other thing is to some degree, consciousness is about detachment. And so
Mm,
to be conscious, you need to be present. So presence in itself is occupying the space 100%. So that means you've got nothing in your mind when you're turning up. And so knowledge in that scenario is really a limiting factor to presence rather than an additional. It's not to say that you don't draw on it when you need to. A lot of times it'll come in intuitively, but people are in their heads too much
yeah.
and they try too much to do things. And really at the end of the day, especially in this area, if you gender, I can never really remember, gender non-conforming, well then all you got to do is turn up and perform. If you think that you're gender non-conforming, you're behind the eight ball because you've already put yourself in a box. And really,
Mm,
other people can put you in a box, but you turn up and perform, and you keep on moving and changing the world by the fact that you do perform, and everything becomes um, everyone accepts it because it's acceptable rather than everyone looks at everybody different because they're different. And, as soon as we keep on saying, oh, they're great because they're great black singers or they're great indigenous singers, as soon as we start doing that, we're basically, in my view, we're sort of keeping people in the boxes that they're in. It's not,
yeah.
it's not to say that it's like it's a bit of a sorry, this is your bloody interview, but
No.
it's a bit of a paradox insofar as you do have to say I'm trans, but in saying it to some degree, you're doing what they're doing in separating you by saying you're trans. And to
That's true.
some degree, you've got to work out how you fit all this in and do what you need to do and represent what you need to represent in a way that is harmonic rather than reactive, rather than people are sort of saying
Yeah.
they just got an award for something because they're that and not because they're that. Like people have always said with promotions or with awards, you only got it because she's female, she only got the job because of this or blah 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 blah. So you've got to try and, in some ways, get away from that, I think. But I think that the biggest piece of advice to just tell people, in my view, is that, which is we agree that the knowledge has to be known. So get it from
Yeah.
somewhere. I'm just suggesting having a wider
Community. Yeah. Wider net mentors and
knowledge
a group.
and work.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Perform
Yeah.
anywhere, perform everywhere,
Yes.
perform anywhere, perform to one person, perform to 50 people, and understand that your job's done when you perform,
Hmm.
not when you
Yeah.
get a response,
Yeah. I
because the
agree.
responses will change all the time. And so basically, if you get your outcome once you've performed, you'll get your outcome every time. If you're
Hmm.
only going to get your outcome if you get a good response, you're only going to get an outcome every now and then. Anyhow,
It's
enough.
true.
Let's finish with some stuff about you, okay?
Sure.
Because I'm sure people are here and they're interested in Ascent and all that sort of stuff. But if you're a part of this thing, if you and the girls are a part of this thing, they'll want to know something about you as well. What's the craziest thing you've ever done? Talk.
I ran away and joined a circus in New Zealand when I was 19.
Did you really?
Yeah, yeah. My brother's a circus performer. I went to visit him and they said, "Do you want to stay?" And I said, "Yeah, sure." And I made popcorn and drove a caravan around and lived in
Well
the cab of a truck for 4 months in the middle of winter in the South Island of New Zealand. So
well done.
that
Well,
was insane. Yeah.
I ran away from home when I was 14.
Really?
I caught,
Wow.
I caught two planes under an assumed name
No.
because you could in this is 1972. You didn't have to, and I got a job in the abattoirs up there. My cousins
Whoa.
up in Gunnedah near Tamworth.
Wow.
So ultimately, I wouldn't underestimate those sorts of actions because basically they're breakout actions. And if
Yeah.
you've got to be you, you've got to be you. You've got to work out how you're going to be you in a world that keeps on saying conform.
That is so true.
I make
Yeah.
money off you, so conform. And you can fuck off money.
Yeah.
Okay, what's the one topic you can talk about for hours?
Oh, there's quite a lot. I mean music, obviously, but that's kind of a boring answer. Um, at the moment, weird animal facts. I love just talking about weird
Sensational. We'll
animal
look for
things.
them. We'll look for them on the Ascent, website.
Yeah.
What's the thing you like most about yourself?
Um, my kindness. I don't know. I worked really hard to stay kind and soft, despite the world being a bit cooked a lot of the time. And I think that most of the time I have a pretty good balance of being kind without being a pushover, or at least too much of a pushover.
For me, to that in that regard, you sort of um, um, what you give, you get. What you get, you give. That sort of situation. So basically, it's a bit selfish to be loving because
Mm-hmm.
basically you're looking for love, or not looking for you get love. So
It is all, yeah, it's
and I
completely
think that
selfish.
that's the simple part. I'm going to start a podcast myself, and that's the simple part of it in that support process.
Mm,
Understanding that a lot of your dramas are self-created. They're all self-created, predominantly, most of them.
yeah,
And so just pursuit for something that isn't here. A better
yeah,
partner, a prettier this, a bigger that, more that, and the only thing that you can really live is here because that's the only thing that exists. All right, finally, let's have your favorites, all time or current. Favorite album?
Man, It Feels Like Space Again by Pond.
Pond.
Love
Great,
it.
great band. Favorite artist?
Uh, it's either Pond or La Femme.
My fan. Favorite movie?
Uh, I really love the Little Miss Sunshine.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
A female performance movie? Absolutely. Uh, isn't it?
yeah, it's the
Good.
little kid.
Favorite
So good.
favorite place to visit?
Uh, my where I grew up in the Bega Valley in New South Wales.
Your what, sorry?
Stunning. Where I grew up,
Oh
the
yeah,
Bega
Bigger
Bega
Valley.
Valley. Yeah.
Jeez. Favorite venue to play?
Uh,
Or favorite venue that you want your artist to play in if you wanted to play in a venue?
mm, oh, that's a great question. There's so many. You know
Forum.
what? I really love
The
the
forum.
forum is
Forum's
just
a killer in my
stunning.
opinion.
Yeah. Let's go with that.
There are plenty. I mean, the arenas and all that sort of stuff aren't really that much fun to play, I don't think. I think they're just hard work.
Yeah,
Forums
yeah.
and the Palais and stuff like
Forum's
that, they're
gorgeous.
classical,
Yeah,
classical places.
yeah.
Sorry to put that in your mouth. Favorite food?
Olives,
Olives.
olives.
You
I'm
can,
obsessed.
you can live off olives.
I could eat like 2 jars right now.
Oh, goodness. You must be, what nationality are you?
I'm Lebanese and Irish and Welsh and Scottish and
Oh, that's interesting.
yeah.
Favorite drink?
Uh, oh, I love a soda water or a mineral water with a bit of lime, heaps of ice.
And it's
Oh, the bubbles.
not too bad for you. Favorite person in
Oh no,
history?
frozen.
Favorite person in history apart from me?
Sorry, you just froze for a second. Oh, goodness. Um, oh, I've just gone blank. There's so many to choose from. Um,
I'd say
favorite
I'd
person in
say the bloke
history.
that runs Xelon would have to be a pretty, if you want to really, if he's going to watch this interview.
I don't know if he'd like me calling him a person from history who's still here.
Well, I mean, they're all in history, aren't they? Favorite person. A lot of people might say, a lot of people might say an inspiring person like Mandela or something.
Yeah.
People say mum or dad or, people say someone different all the time. Their wife.
Oh, I've really truly gone blank on this one.
Oh,
You
yeah.
know, oh God, I don't know. Marsha P. Johnson. Let's go with that.
Well,
She's awesome.
who is Marsha P. Johnson? If
She
that's
was a transgender activist in the States. She did a lot of work for the AIDS the AIDS epidemic to do advocacy to get that kind of sorted.
to show you
Just
that, isn't it? So sorry, go on.
no, she's just an icon. She's just
Well,
funny
I
and
think you know they won the election on this. They spent $100 million telling people how many trans people were in sporting competitions in America. Women that were 6'8", men that are just, and there's probably two or three in the whole of America, and they
right.
spent $100 million scaring everyone into
It's
doing something.
ridiculous.
And I think that that's the problem. The problem is, we've grown into a non-truth society, with social media and Twitter and all that. And now, someone makes an inference and 100 people read it and pass it on and believe it, and before you know it, you've got a whole you change the whole thing. I mean, look at America; they're doing it completely.
Yeah.
Okay, favorite tattoo?
Uh, I have one on my forearm that's a tree with a face, an old man face in it.
Can you
That's my
show us?
fave.
Can you show us?
I don't know how to hang on.
Oh, that is cool. That is really cool. And where's the face?
It's in here. You can't really see it that well,
That's
but
cool. That's really cool.
yeah,
And
his
is the
the
old
ring.
man? What's that represent?
It's kind of based on the Ents from Lord of the Rings. Oh, that's another one of my favorite movies, actually. Can I add that retrospectively?
Well, well, there's not
But
one. There's a
I
few.
know there's three. Yeah. But yeah, I don't know. It just kind of, I guess, was a cool design that I liked, and I liked the old man tree wisdom vibes at the time. Yeah.
Oh, that's it. That's it.
That's it. Amazing. Thank you so much. I really appreciate you
I
taking the
should, I should,
time.
I should come to your Xelon things and teach some of your people some stuff.
You should, please. That would be amazing.
But
Yeah.
I think at the end of the day, collaborate. We'll collaborate on something rather and just
Yes.
advancing each other's situation because basically, um, again, consciousness is about no need. So when
Yeah.
there's no need, you just turn up to whatever's there. It's a bit Mandela-ish, you can be in the prison and still have a full life, even though everyone can't understand how you can.
Yeah.
So if you can detach from that need situation and turn up to everything purely, well, then you just turn up with authenticity.
Absolutely.
Much better chance that it might be a bit hard. It's a bit harder to do business in that sense because you're continually thinking that there's no need to do anything. So
Yes,
you've got
that
to marry,
balance, eh?
you've got to
Yeah.
marry them together, and
Yeah.
that's where the challenge takes place, And I think that even in what you're doing now with the group, there's a business that says let's get an outcome.
Hmm.
You can't make the outcome more than the person.
Absolutely.
Because that's what labels do. Labels do
Yeah.
it all the time. Look at Taylor Swift. She's got to come and put her own name on things afterwards, and she's a huge artist. So
Yeah.
they do that with her. Imagine what they do with everyone else.
Exactly.
As soon as
Yeah.
you make the focus the stuff, you've lost. I don't know why anyone would sign that contract, but everyone
I
does.
agree. Yeah.
Everyone does.
Everyone
Let's
does.
hope let's hope the dual label agreements are a bit more
Oh
more.
yeah. Very artist friendly.
But I
Yeah.
suppose
Yeah.
they will be in today's world. All right, that's it.
All right.
I'll
Thanks
get this
so
up
much.
and
Really
share
enjoyed
it
it.
around
Awesome.
exposure for the process. Good on you, man. Nice
Thanks so
talking.
much. Nice to meet you. Nice to
All
talk
the
to you
best.
too.
Okay.
Enjoyed that.
Bye bye.
Bye.